back again. This is not how I was wanting to do this video, but sometimes you wind up having to do it the other ways. I had this whole analogy thing worked out as a follow-up to not the thank you video, but the video before. And it didn't work out. It was going to be me flipping a big, massive tractor tire out and explaining timing and everything. But as you might be able to see, you can see the tires where I've been painting on them. But you might be able to see, it's kind of been raining. And I didn't want to fool with it. I didn't feel like going out, wading through the mud and everything else. So I'll have to wait. When I was trying to come up with a good analogy for when, about timing and when human pride, vanity, and crap gets in the way. And yeah, I know, speaking of vanity, while I'm wearing a nasty old hat and messing with my hair, it's way too long, but I couldn't really come up with one. Well, that's changed. I have a personal story that came up. I found out about this last night. And it all ties in, starting Thursday night. Thursday night we had some storms roll through. I was up part of the night. I couldn't sleep. Because, the wind was blowing sometimes like over 60 miles an hour. And I'm not used to all that racket, so I was wide awake. And so Friday, I was sitting there at work and I was like full zombie mode. And I had to take my morning break, and it's like, I should really go downstairs to the third floor and get me a something to drink. I was thinking along the lines of Dr. Pepper, just because while the artificial stuff is supposed to be linked to Alzheimer's and everything else, I feel more like crap when I drink the stuff with high fructose corn syrup in it. And last time I had something with just straight cane sugar, I was fine. So out of it all, I think that much high fructose corn syrup just kind of zonks me out. It makes me feel like crap, and I kind of zone out a bit. Anyway, so I decided that's what I'll do. Sidetrack. But I thought about it. I said, no, you need to lose about 10 pounds or so. Plus, your throat kind of gets sore when you drink something like that, especially early in the day. If you're have a lot of phone calls, by the time it's over with, your throat gets sore. And I mean, that was me and my pride talking, but something told me, no, shut up, go downstairs, get it. And I'm like, okay, well, I did. I went downstairs to the vending machine, and I was like, I don't want to fool with the change, so I pulled out my debit card and swiped it. Figured the 10-cent convenience charge was worth it. And everything was fine and good. Well, last night, I was laying in bed, or laid down. My knee was kind of hurting because nasty weather tends to do that when you have what an orthopedic surgeon refers to as a violent injury to it. And like I said, it was kind of hurting just a little bit, so I was like, I just go lay down, kick my feet up, watch some classic Jimmy Martin videos here on YouTube, and I got this phone call. And I know from work that I was able to recognize it was a Alabama area code. And of course you never know where exactly stuff like it comes from. And I answered. Usually I don't. If I don't recognize the number, I typically will not answer. This time I said, what the heck. They've got to have a good reason for calling me about 8:30 at night. And I picked up, and it was my, one of the offices of the bank that I had my debit card through. Apparently, there were 2 major charges in Paris, France. Someone had decided, somehow got a hold of my debit card And between the travel agency and everything else, well, let me backtrack. I found the $100 charge to the travel agency after I got off the phone with them. However, since they already canceled the account or the card, they said that until it actually posts to my account, I can't do anything about it. So until they said it'd be Tuesday morning before I can dispute the charge and get my money back. Oh well. However, I was able to get the money back on 2 charges in Paris, France for one was over $400 and one was over $200. So all in all, they tried to take me for about $800. And we were talking, and they said, okay, let's review. What's the last charge you did? I have a 5-Star Foods charge, which is who we go through with the swapper on the vending machine. I said, yeah, that was me. I got something to drink. Okay, well, that's what alerted us, because they had a charge far, far away, and 2 charges in, completely different continents. It's easy to say when you're tongue-tied. So yeah, the fact that there were 2 charges and originating in 2 separate continents like that, it raised the red flag. You're asking where I'm going. In the video before last, the big long one, not the thank you video, I mentioned about how sometimes we let our foolish pride get the best of us, and then what happens? We wind up screwing things up for us. True story. Had I let my vanity and pride get a hold of me, I would have never went down to the vending machine. I would have just said, suck it up. You don't need it. Save the money. You'll help lose weight. And because of that, I would have never had because of that one pending charge to that vending machine, my bank would not have had a red flag to raise over the charges, because they could have justified it with a travel agency charge and everything else. They could say, oh, well, he just went on a Parisian vacation. And I wouldn't have found it until I looked at my bank account, probably next month, and then I'd have to prove, no, I really didn't go to France, I don't have a passport, yada, yada, yada. So, had I not have listened to whatever gut instinct it was telling me to go suck it up and get to that vending machine, who knows where I'd be, who knows how much more money they would have taken from me. So, yeah. This is a perfect example of putting aside your pride and listening to your gut, whether you're Christian or whatever deity you believe in, to listen to them. I don't talk about religion all that much, just because it's such a heated thing and heated topic, and I try to make it as open as my discussions as open as possible, because there are some people who get very huffy when you start talking about Christianity like I believe in, or alternative versions of Christianity like I kind of believe in. People like that can be kind of contentious with all religions. That's the case, and I try to be open because I like to think some of the things I say is relevant across the board. Whether it be divine intervention, gut intuition, whatever, something told me to go to that vending machine, and I did. I actually listened to that voice. Because of that, it saved me a small fortune and a lot of headaches, and possibly even a bad credit rating, a hit to my credit score. The moral of this story is, listen to your surroundings. Maybe you've got some voice like me, like I was, telling you to be somewhere else, do something else, or be around other people. And maybe you're putting it off because of your own pride, because you like where you're at, or with who you're with, or what you're doing. But as long as that voice is not telling you to do harm to anyone else, to yourself even, as long as that voice isn't telling you to do something dangerous that can get you in a lot of trouble, or that is to do something that is morally unjust, maybe you should consider asking yourself if you're doing it, you're continuing on or doing whatever because of pride, or if you should listen to that voice. Personally, I'm glad I put my pride aside and listened to that voice. Hope it didn't bore y'all too much. I know some people don't like it when I tell personal stories like this. They tell me I'm too egocentric and everything else. Well, guess what? This is my channel. It's my, a lot of stuff I do is based on my opinion. And I'm going to tell stories that I know because I don't have to worry about people getting upset for telling their story that they didn't want told or anything else. It's my story. I decide if I want to tell it, and I know the truth, what went down, better than what someone else told me. So with that in mind, listen to the voice, whether it's divine intervention, your gut, intuition, what have you. Listen to it. Maybe it can help you through a tough time. Maybe it can guide you. Anyway, I'm not going to go outside and do any work. Tried to modify a spot welder, cheap Harbor Freight spot welder, to do an AK-47 receiver. That's one of the projects I'm working on. It didn't work. The tip, I tried to get out of buying these fancy tip, and it won't work because I had to replace the lower tongue for it to work, and in doing so it cut down so much size that the standard tip's length isn't long enough. So that's going to, cost me some money when I get my banking straightened out, which will be sometime toward the middle of next week. Well, sorry to bother y'all. Maybe take my advice. If you have any other ideas, let me know. I'm going to try to enjoy this jury day. Later.